Hello friends, welcome. Thank you for joining me for this segment of fast food where we are making energy balls. The heck does that mean, right? Energy balls are just an oat and date based with some other combination of ingredients. We turn them into little balls and then they become a little easy snack that you can grab and go. And we all love convenience when it comes to our nutrition, don't we? So the great thing about these energy balls is that you can keep them in your freezer, you can keep them in your fridge, you can keep them on your counter. It's personal preference and it increases the ease of access to a healthy nutrition option. So we're gonna make these energy balls together. Know that as in all of our fast food segments and recipes that we utilize, everything here is flexible. All of the ingredients, the amount, the combination of things, it's all flexible, it's all relative. I posted an infographic on Sunday with some options, some examples of different recipes you might use if you so chose. And so today I'm gonna push out of my comfort zone a little bit. I'm gonna try the carrot cake energy balls. I'm a huge lover of carrot cake, but it's not something I've ever made myself, nor have I ever made a carrot cake flavored anything. So we'll see what happens. The most important thing that you need to know, the core ingredients for this one are oats, any kind of oat that you have. I'm using, because it's what I have, I'm using 100% rolled quick oats today. You can use steel cut oats, you can use any kind of oat. It doesn't matter, it's personal preference based off of what's available, your taste preference, and what meets your nutritional needs. Now when it comes to oats and nutrition, just like anything, less processing is better as far as meeting our nutrition, right? So do know that if you use something like a quick oat or instant oat, they sometimes call them, those are processed a little bit more than a steel cut oat or a, what do they call it? Grout oat? I don't even know, I'm blanking on the other oat names, but anyway. Make your choices how they make sense to you, right? So you need your oats, you need some dates. Preferably, in my opinion, get dates that don't have added sugar. The thing we love about dates is they are a natural sweetener. They are already very, very sweet without any additives. And yet, the big food companies and corporations add sugar to it sometimes, or sweeteners. Why? Because it's addictive and it keeps you coming back for more. So go for unsweetened, nothing added to it. Your ingredient label should say pitted dates, ideally. One ingredient, no processing. Choose accordingly. Again, take it with a grain of salt, right? So we have our pitted dates, no sweetener added. For my recipe, as I shared, I'm gonna do the carrot cake energy balls. And so I have baby carrots, I have coconut flakes, I have walnuts, chia seeds, and pumpkin seeds. Anything over and above that, you know, you add and take away as it serves you. Some other additives that I grabbed just in case I feel so inspired as we go. I have some prunes, I have raisins, I have chia seeds, and I did grab my peanut butter. Now, each of the recipes calls for a base of some kind of nut butter, oats, and dates. I'm choosing the 100% peanut butter because peanuts is the only thing in it. Literally the only thing. Your ingredient label says peanuts. Do you believe it? How often do you see an ingredient label with one item? Right, peanuts, dates. Great. We actually have a few single ingredient things here. I'm feeling pretty proud of that. And the reason I chose this, in addition to less bullshit in it, less additives, it also doesn't taste like traditional peanut butter. And so when we're thinking about a carrot cake energy ball, it's just gonna bring some adhesion for that structure as opposed to a lot of flavor. So that's why I'm going with that. That said, let's get going and we'll talk about it as we go, right? So the thing I'm gonna do first, this is all trial and error, I'll be honest. I'm going to blend my dates first because I want them to be able to get soft and smooth with the other ingredients to again act as a binding agent. These are pitted. Do make sure, I share these things out of experience, you're welcome. Do make sure that if you grab dates, they are pitted, they have no seed in them, before you throw them in your blender, okay? So we have our dates. We also, do I want to put more than that? I do want to put more than that. Well, I do. No, I'm going to leave it, and then I'll tweak it as I go. I'm also going to add in my carrots at this step, and the only reason for that is I don't have anything to shred these. So I'm going to utilize the blender to also shred them and mix them up. If I had a shredder, I'd probably just put it along that because I actually like the shredded piece of carrots, but do what you will, right? We use what we have, we meet ourselves where we're at, and we make it work for us as best we can. So far I have my dates and my carrots. I'm going to blend those up a little bit. Segment, what we're looking to achieve is easy, nutrient-dense recipes that are flexible, that meet us right where we're at, and we look for as much variety as we can in our nutrition so that we can really fuel ourselves well. The best way to get all of the nutrients and minerals that you need is to eat a lot of variety. Aim for a lot of different colors, different textures. Try to eat within season if you can. I don't think I've ever shared that one before. As I add walnuts, that's the next thing I'm going to add in is my walnuts because I feel like those are going to need quite a bit of blending. And I'm going to throw in a handful of raisins too while I'm at it. And my rationale right now for what I'm adding in is simply what are the things that are going to need to be blended pretty well to make this work. So I'll add in some raisins now for, again, that adhesive effect, so to speak. But then I'll add in some whole ones after, probably. Being careful with the sweetness, because again, another really sweet food that you do want to pay attention to. Make sure they're not adding extra sugar to your raisins. It sounds crazy, but it happens. So I shared just a second ago, try and get things that are in season. The reason for that is the sooner that you can eat something, from the time that it was picked to the time that it hits your tongue, the more nutrient density to that item. And that's where that belief that fresh is best has always come from. Because once upon a time, fresh meant it was picked and it got to you the next day or 2 days. However, because food is a big business, now we have access to foods out of season all the time, wherever you live, right? We always have access to bananas, to avocados, to oranges, to strawberries, to things that are not necessarily in their growing season where we live at that time. And so what that means is that they are picked way prior to the peak of freshness and then transported all over the place before they get to your tongue or your plate. And what that means is because they were picked before the peak of freshness, they don't have all the opportunity to get all of the nutrients that they would otherwise if we picked them at the peak of freshness. So that's why, as time has evolved and these agricultural practices have changed largely, they've turned into a business instead of focusing on our nutrient density and wellness and that sort of thing. That's why frozen is often better for us when it comes to nutrient density. So, fresh is best when you can get it from a farmer's market or somewhere local that you know it was picked within a day or two, a couple of days. Frozen is best if it's at like a supermarket or something like that. So just something to know, something to be aware of. Ooh, let's see. All right, so I have ground up my carrots, walnuts, dates. I threw in a little bit of chia seeds in there just to get them mixed in easily, as well as raisins, and everything else I'm just going to hand fold in so it keeps its texture. Just kidding. I'm going to put in a little bit of peanut butter first. Let that mix in easily. Let the blender work hard for me instead of making me work hard. And then I'll fold the rest in. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder here, huh? My blender is like, girl, this is too much, get out of here. All right, let's get a bowl. And let's tell you about the benefits of oats while we do, Oats, especially if they're the less processed version, they help lower your bad cholesterol, your LDLs, right? It's also good for lowering blood sugar because of the way that they're metabolized in our system. They're a great source of fiber, and they're really supportive of good gut health. So that's why oats are important to us. The thing that you want to be mindful of is generally there's a lot of carbs in oats. And so while oats are a superfood and an important part of your diet, generally you don't need a lot of them. Most people don't need a lot of them. Now when it comes to dates are another superfood that I don't think enough people know about, and myself included until recent years, and then when I dove into this research a little bit more. Dates, as I mentioned, are a great natural sweetener. They're very sweet naturally without processing or additives or anything like that, so we can use them as an alternative sweetener versus sugar. They also are very high fiber. They're also high in potassium, manganese, iron, and magnesium. And I know we've talked about magnesium before, but it's been a hot topic lately in recent conversations around me. And my realization, the reason I'm saying this is I'm realizing a lot of people don't realize that, one, magnesium is very important for our systems. It's utilized in over 600, oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? 600 reactions within your body. Magnesium is known as what they call a helper molecule. And so if you don't have enough magnesium, it can't activate the other molecules in your body to work the right way. That's what they mean by helper molecule. So when we're deficient in I keep wanting to say manganese instead of magnesium, but I promise you I mean magnesium. When we're low in magnesium, which about 60% of the population is, and the reason that happens, the short answer is over-processed soil, over-farmed soil. It's not happening naturally in nature like it used to. So 60% on average of American adults are low in magnesium. And what that causes is increased sugar cravings, poor sleep or lack of restful sleep, muscle cramps, muscle restlessness, poor muscle regeneration and recovery. So you have a hard time recovering. You might experience restless leg syndrome. Anyone? I used to have restless legs, but I don't anymore since I started figuring out my nutrition, and I'll bet you this was a big part of it. And it can also cause high blood pressure, low energy. Google it, trust me, I'm not doing it justice. Low magnesium is a really significant problem. It causes anxiety and depression symptoms, brain fog. Anyway, look it up, it's a horrible thing. So we're not gonna be those people. We're gonna make sure we get enough magnesium in our diet. Whether that's through dates or leafy greens or seeds like pumpkin seeds and flax seeds and chia and plenty of others I'm not thinking of in this moment. Magnesium helps regulate your nervous system. It helps regulate your blood sugar. It helps in muscle repair and recovery. It helps in deep, restful sleep and getting that really good quality sleep, not just knocking out, but really good quality sleep and waking up restful. What else? I'm just checking my notes because I feel like I'm missing things. There's a lot of it. Oh, when you're low in magnesium, this is how they figure it out a lot of times. As I add pumpkin seeds to my bowl here and then my oats. A lot of people who are low in magnesium struggle with calcification of their arteries. The heck does that mean, right? Calcification of your arteries is what leads to things like heart disease, heart failure, heart attacks, okay? And so we want to make sure that we're getting adequate magnesium in our body, right? You can do that through those foods I mentioned. You can all do that. You can also do that through a supplement. So Steve and I, to the best of our ability, we get as many nutrients and vitamins from our food as we can. We supplement very, very little. One of the things, well, two things that we do supplement. We take a daily magnesium supplement, and I'll actually show it to you because it's a very specific one. I did a lot of research to make sure I got the right one. It's marine derived because magnesium can come from salt water as well, seaweed, etc. So ours is a marine derived magnesium. And then we also take a sublingual B12. We're vegetarian, leaning into vegan. You need to supplement B12 because it is harder to come by when you don't eat animal flesh. So, in this bowl, my friends, we have our dates, a little bit of peanut butter or nut butter to adhere these things together, carrots, a couple of raisins, again, just for the adhesion and the flavor. What else? Pumpkin seeds, chia seeds. And the things I'm gonna add to it, I'm gonna do it based on what I'm seeing here, on the texture. So what I'm noticing, that's why I'm holding it a little funny so you can see. What I'm noticing is it needs to be a little bit more sticky, just a little bit. It's pretty good right now. So I'm gonna add a splash more of that peanut butter, and then I'm going to add in those like finisher ingredients that you think of when you think of a carrot cake, right? So like coconut, that's gonna be one. Now, I'm a little nervous about this recipe, to be honest with you, because there are so many sweet things in this. I have a funny feeling that mine is going to very much come out like a dessert-type energy ball. And that's okay. Awareness is power, right? I make it this way this time, and maybe next time it's different. We'll see. If you want it, prunes. If you don't love prunes, man, I love prunes. I am the person at this stage in life where I have to keep count of how many I've ate so I don't accidentally rock my internal system because I've just binged on prunes. It's a real thing, trust me. But you can use these. These are really great like dates. They're a nice adhesive kind of thing that you can use to hold texture together. And they're also really high fiber, really sweet, really delicious, minimally processed. The ones that I have, no sugar added, single ingredient. Adding in a splash of peanut butter, a couple more pieces of walnut so I have some added texture to the balls. You're welcome for that. And then some raisins. Again, just for added flavor, added texture. If I had shredded carrot, I'd probably add in some more at this step, but we work with what we got, don't we? We meet ourselves exactly where we are because there's no point in wishing any differently. We are where we are, and we are always doing the best that we can with what we have. I don't know anyone in my life personally who has ever said to me, nah, you're just kind of half-assing it. You know, I don't actually try that hard on the things that are important to me. Nah, right? We're always doing the best we can with what we have, so remember that. Be proud of that. Sorry, I'm double timing. Usually I'm one of those people while I cook, I clean up as I go because I hate to clean up when I'm done. I hate it. I just caught myself cleaning up. Why am I making you wait while I clean up? We'll mix this together. You'll circle it around in your hands just like if you were making cookies, circle it into those little protein balls. If you wanted, you could add other things to this too, right? You could add some cinnamon. I'm going to for heart health and blood flow, regulating blood flow. Yes, very delicious. You could add vanilla for flavoring. You could add some maple syrup for added sweetness, added stickiness in this. You can be flexible with it. So tell me, what did you do for yours? What kind did you make? Did you make the carrot cake ones with me? Did you choose something different? Let's see. Put them on a plate. That's what we'll do. And then, how did this inform you for where you go from here, right? Every time we make something, every time we do something new, it is information. It's an opportunity. It's a new awareness of where do we go from here. So for example, if and when I take a bite out of this, I'm like, ooh, I love that I put those pumpkin seeds in there, that little salty sweet thing, but I really hated the carrot broken down that way. That's information, right? That's just awareness so that I can choose where I go next time. It's not right or wrong. It's not guilt, shame, blame. It's not bullshit. We're not getting caught in our head about it or over-analyzing it, because guess what? Even when you overanalyze things, or you think about it and think about it and think about it, it doesn't change them. I don't know if you know that. It doesn't change them. Worrying doesn't change anything. It just robs the peace of the present moment. Instead of being in the moment, experiencing the moment for what it is, instead, you're so in your head worrying about what should have been or could have been or what will happen or won't happen or might happen. And instead, you don't have the opportunity to appreciate everything available to you in this moment. To appreciate the fact that you are breathing clean air in and out of your lungs right now. To appreciate the fact that you have internet access to access this video. To stop and appreciate the fact that you have the awareness, the intelligence, the intent to be proactive in your health and wellness. Most people, they don't know what they don't know. They don't even try. They don't know that it's important because our media, our society has said it's not important. This is the American way to live. Eat McDonald's, snack on fast food, eat this packaged thing. This is food. If my hands weren't dirty, I would put air quotes there. You're choosing differently than most, and that is to be celebrated. That is a big deal. So don't forget it, right? How did I get off on that tangent? Who knows? So I'm going to put mine, I'm going to finish off camera so that you don't have to wait for me doing this. I'm going to finish making mine into balls. The size is preference, right? You decide how you want them to look. You could also turn them into bars if you'd rather have bars. I am going to put mine in the freezer for a few minutes just to solidify them a little bit because I use less wet or sticky ingredients, I guess. And so they are just a little bit piecey, so I'll freeze them just so that they can adhere a little bit more quickly and more easily. And then I'll probably store them in my fridge for easy access. The reality is they're not going to last long anyway. Between Steve and I and how we like to eat, most good food doesn't last long around here. We do a lot of grocery shopping. So, what kind did you make? What did you love? What worked really well for you? What are you excited about trying next time? Let me know. And then keep on coming back. Remember that everything is a practice. There is nothing in our life that we do one and done, or rarely anything worth it that is one and done. This isn't like a college degree. You get it and you're like, I'm done. We continually practice to be better and better, to be healthier and healthier, to eat better, to eat variety, to evolve in our experience. And that's a wonderful thing, but, you know, it's also an intentional practice, right? So keep on coming back. Till next time, be safe, be kind, continue choosing to be well. Have a great day wherever you go from here. Oh my gosh, I can't hit off